morning, students. Welcome to the class. Today is 5th of June 2020, and today we are going to start with another language topic. I hope you have already done with the exercise of modals, and I'm going to send you the answer key of it. Okay. So now let's come to the word of the day, and today I've taken the food word of the day, something which is related to food, right? So the word is abligration, which means excessive spending on food or drink, right? When you're spending excess amount on food or drinks. So his abligation was putting a serious strain on their finances, because he was spending so much on food and drink that his finances were getting affected. Okay, it was straining his finances. So this is the word. You're going to write this in the word bank notebook. Clear? Next, let us come back to the topic. Now, can you see this? There are certain images, right? The images show certain action. Like, for example, if I talk about the first image where the boy is walking, right? So if I see, this is walk, this action being done is walk, this action is write, and this action is laugh. These are all what? Actions, right? These action words are also known as verbs, right? So if I talk about what are the verbs, laugh, write, walk. Clear? So now these are only verbs. Now say if I've given another example, he speaks slowly. Now can you see the circled part? It is verb, speaking, again an action being done, and the previous also were actions being done. They are all verbs. So when I am using a verb in a sentence, fine, but when I am describing that verb, what do we call these words as? Like, for example, he is speaking how? Slowly. Now if I give you another sentence, please sit here. Now can you see he's trying to sit? Now sit is the action being done, it is the verb, and where? Here I am specifying the place. So the verb is sit, and the place has been described by the action of the place is being described by here. So whenever I am using words which are describing the verbs, so what do we call them? We call them as adverbs. What do we call them? Adverbs. So you can see there are a number of adverbs written over here: quite, everywhere, soon, remorsefully, yesterday, extremely, terribly, inside, outside, quietly, home, loyalty, tomorrow, daily, anywhere, underground. These are all what? Adverbs. Okay, so we are going to study about adverbs today. So what are adverbs? The words that are used to describe verbs or modify verbs are known as adverbs. So they tell us when, where, how, in what manner, or to what extent an action is performed. Okay, they answer to the question either how, when, where, to what extent, in what manner. Like if I come back to the same slide, so it is saying he speaks. How does he speak? Slowly. I am getting an answer to the question how. So it's an adverb. Now please sit here. Where? I am getting an answer to the question the place where. So this is adverb of. Here is an adverb because it is describing a place. Now let us come back to. So understood what is actually an adverb. So now what does adverbs describe basically? Adverbs describe a verb. Like for example, she runs quickly. How does she run? Quickly. So this is describing the verb. Second, it can also describe an adjective. Like she is so beautiful. Now beautiful over here is an adjective. Okay, because it is describing the noun she. But so is an adverb over here. Clear? Then an adverb can describe another adverb. It can describe another adverb. So for example, she smokes very rarely. Now rarely is an adverb, and very is also an adverb. Okay, we are going to understand which adverb is very, which is rarely. We are going to come to it, everything. An adverb can describe an entire sentence. Certain times adverbs are used in such a way that the entire sentence can be defined. Like for example, obviously, you don't have to come. So it's obviously the adverb being used, and it gives an idea that what the person is trying to say is very obvious, right? So it is used as an adverb which is describing an entire sentence. Clear? So now what are we going to study today? The first topic that we are going to study is kinds of adverbs. Now there are 5 kinds of adverbs. Basic 5 we have already been studying. One new you are going to add up, which I have not added because I am going to come to it again. So now manner, which gives answer to the question how. So adverb of manner answers to the question how. Then adverb of time, it answers to the question when. Adverb of place, it answers to the question where. Adverb of frequency, it answers to the question how often, right? How often the work is done. Rarely, often, usually, these are all. Then how, degree, adverb of degree, it answers to the question how much. So these are five basic types of adverbs that you have been studying from the previous classes, right? So manner, time, place, degree, frequency, and we have been studying about them, that how they answer to the various questions, right? Now these are again adverb of manner, time, place, frequency, degree. We are going to study each one of them one by one. First is adverb of manner. Adverb of manner, it answers to the question how. Okay, now see, you can see a lion in the picture and he is roaring, and the sentence says the lion roared ferociously. The lion roared ferociously. Now the adverb of manner is over here is ferociously, because if I ask you how did the lion roar? Ferociously. So you can give me the answer as ferociously, which is an adverb of manner, because it answers to roared ferociously. It answers to the question how. How did the lion roar ferociously? So it answers to the question how. So it is degree of, it is adverb of manner. And what is the adverb of manner? Ferociously. Clear? Now, so what does adverb of manner talks about? It talks about an action in which manner is the action will occur, has occurred, or occurred, or occurs, right? So it can be present, past, or future. So she speaks loudly. How does she speak loudly? You replied correctly. How did you reply? Correctly. So loudly, slowly, correctly, fast, easily. These are all what adverb of manner, because they answer to the question how. Now let us come to the next one, which is adverb of time. Now adverb of time answers to the question when. Okay, it answers to the question when. Right, see the sentence. I know it is not clearly visible, but I'll read the sentence. She flew the plane yesterday. So if I ask you, when did she fly the plane? When did she fly the plane? You will answer to me yesterday. So if I am getting the answer to the question when, that is adverb of time. So adverb of time answers to the question when. So what does it tell? It tells about the time of an action, when an action is being done. Now, then, soon, tomorrow, yesterday, today, tonight, again, early, yesterday. These are all what adverb of time. Like for example, the guest came yesterday. When did the guest came? Yesterday. When did the guest come? Yesterday. Clear? So next is adverb of place. Now it answers to the question where. Now, can you see there are many flowers? The sentence says there are many flowers outside. Now if I ask you, where are the flowers? Your answer would be outside, right? So if I am getting an answer to the question where, that means it is adverb of place. Clear? Now, adverb of place tells out about the place of an action or where an action occurs, occurred or will occur. Okay, the place is going to be described. Like for example, he will come here. The children are playing outside. Maybe outside the house, outside the playground, anywhere. He was standing near the wall. So I am getting the places near the wall. They were flying kites on the top of the hill. Where were they flying? On the top of the hill. Clear? So these answers to the question adverb of place. Next is adverb of frequency. It answers to the question how often. Like for example, she usually combs her hair. How often does she comb her hair? Usually. Right? So that is the adverb of frequency, because it answers to the question how often. So how often it tells how many times the action is being done, right? Like daily, sometimes, often, seldom, usually, frequently, ever, always, rarely, monthly, yearly. Okay, like she never smokes, right? He goes to school daily. Now daily, never. These are all what? Adverb of frequency. Clear? Because they answer to the question how often. Next is adverb of degree, which answers to the question either to what extent, or it answers to the question how much. Like very, quite, rather, so, almost, fairly, radically, hardly, extremely, well, really, just, to, nearly. These are all adverb of degree. Now for example, Barbie is very beautiful. How is the Barbie? Very beautiful. very, right? So beautiful is the adjective and I am describing that adjective using the adverb very. So because it answers to me the question how much? Very. Or to what extent? Very. Clear? So these were all adverb of the adverbs that you have read till now. Now there is another which is adverb of affirmation and negation. That means it gives the answer yes if it is yes, no if it is no. Okay, that means it expresses assertion, positive attitude also, and a denial of something also. Like for example, I don't know. It very shortly gives me an idea. I don't know. No. The answer gives to me as no. Right, for example, Rashmi will certainly win the contest. Yes, definitely she will win. So yes, I am getting a definite answer to it. Right, so either I will be getting a positive sure answer or I will not be getting an answer. I will deny that something. Clear? So this is the new adverb that you have read. So these are 6 types of adverbs which you are studying: time, place, manner, frequency, degree, and the next is affirmation and negation. This is what we have studied in the entire table: manner, place, time, frequency, degree, reason. This is also there, which tells about why the action is being placed. That means why an action has taken place. Like for example, Mukesh was annoyed because he could not find his pen. So over here, it is describing the reason for the action taking place or not taking place, right? So it is the right answer to the question why. Next, adverb of affirmation and negation, which expresses assertion or denial, just like I told you. So these are all the adverbs that we have studied. Next is the commonly used adverbs. Now can you read certain adverbs like kindly, happily, wonderfully, loudly, sadly, beautifully, sweetly? These are certain words, certain adverbs that we use most of the time. Okay, they are usually used in our day-to-day life, some way or the other way. But do you know how they have been derived, how they have been formed? If you see, they have been formed by the adjectives. So what have we done? We have added certain suffix to the adjective and it has become an adverb. Like for example, kind, if I add ly, it has become kindly. If I add happy, I have added ly, it has become happily. Now again, I has changed into y. I'll come to that rule. Next, wonder has been wonderful. I have added ny, it has become wonderfully. So all these adjectives, when added with a suffix, have become adverbs. Like sweet has become sweetly, beautiful has become beautifully, sad has become sadly, loud has become loudly. Clear? So now there's a next topic is how to form these adverbs. What are the formation of adverbs? Now adverbs are generally formed by adding ly to the adjectives. We added ly to the adjective. Just now we seen like admirable ly added, sensible ly added, so it became sensibly, intelligent ly added, so it has become intelligently. However, there are certain adverbs that take the same form. Even in adjectives they are same and even in adverbs they remain same. Like for example, fast. Shreya is a fast learner. Now learner is the adjective over here. Sorry, learner is the noun that quality that I'm talking of, and how is she fast? So that is that working as an adjective over here. But now Shreya runs fast. How does Shreya runs fast? So over here it is acting as an adverb. Now the words that like for example late, early, hard, straight, short, long, they do not take these suffixes. They remain same in the adjective also as well as in the adverb also. Like just now we see for fast. Clear? Now let us move to the next one, which says, again I'll give you a brief idea how does it forms. In the many cases, but not always, because we saw the exceptions in the last, hard, early, like those. These adverbs have the following forms: adjective plus an ly. So quick was the adjective, we added ly, it becomes quickly. So strange becomes strangely, dead becomes deadly, sudden ly added, suddenly, clever ly added, cleverly, brave ly added, bravely, real ly added becomes really. Now for example, now in other ways, if you have an adjective which ends with y, so what do? We replace the y with I and then add ly. Like for example, heavy, we remove this y and add I and then ly, so it becomes heavily, heavily. Clear? Similarly for happy, it ends with y, but we remove that y and we put I and it becomes happily, illy. Now if there is an adjective which ends with e, so we drop that e. Okay, instead we simply add ly. Like true has e, so we will remove this e, it becomes true, tru plus ly, so truly, truly. Clear? Now there are many adverbs that do not end with ly. There are certain words where are used which do not end with ly, they are used as it is. like very, home, to, well, never, sometimes, so forth. They do not add ly to them. Clear? I hope formation is also clear now. Now see, for example, heavy. Y has been removed, instead I has been added an ly. So it has become heavily. Similarly, anxious has become ly added anxiously. Bitter has become bitterly. Brutal has become brutally. Clear? Now let us come to the uses. Now certain adverbs are used in such a way because they have an implied meaning. Okay, an implied meaning is attached to them. The sentence itself tells a brief meaning about them. Like for example, the story is too strange to be believed. That means the one you expected even more than that. So that is too strange. Now she is very intelligent. You're describing a quality, but in terms of degree. To what extent? Very. Right? The exhibition was much appreciated. Much appreciated means greatly appreciated. Very much. The boy is strong enough to lift the box. Now strong enough, that means sufficient enough. He can lift the box. The information is quite right. Now quite can be used in two ways, where it is giving the meaning completely. He's completely right, fully correct. And the Neeta drives quite well. Now over here quite means more than the average, better. She drives better. Okay. Then the orange is rather bitter. Rather bitter over here means not desirable. Something that you do not desire. Now weather is fairly warm. Okay, suitable. So the weather is fairly suitable. Now over here fairly means suitable. So an implied meaning is attached with these words. Okay, but if there is one note that you have to remember, that very is used with present or past participles and much is used with past participles. Now I'll show you how. Now can you see the plan was very entertaining. Now entertaining is present participle, verb first form plus ing. If you remember, we have started participles and we started that present participle has verb first form plus ing. Okay, and participles act as adjective. So if I am talking about how was the play, entertaining. Now if I am talking about to what extent it was entertaining, very entertaining. So with entertaining, which is the present participle form, and I have used very. That is what this rule talks about. Clear? Then it is past participle, which is verb plus ed. Okay, so I feel very tired. Now tire is the verb and I have added ed, so it has become very tired. So how much tired are you? So it is very. Next, if I am talking of past participle, only past participle, then in that case we generally use much. Okay, so we also use much. Now relieved is the third form, that is verb plus ed. So much we are going to use. Now we generally use very with certain words. You have to remember this, with certain words like tired, exhausted, annoyed, disappointed, worried. With them we use very. So for example, worried, I am dash exhausted. I am very exhausted. Okay. So with words like tired, exhausted, annoyed, disappointed, worried, we use very. Clear? But we do not use very with words like afraid, obliged, alike. Instead we use too. I am too afraid. I am too obliged. I am too alike. With them we use too instead of very. Clear? Now let us move to the next one, which is degree of comparison. We have done already degree of adjective. Now we are going to study the degree of comparison, which is somewhat similar in both the cases, right? Now if I talk about degree of adverb, so the adverb is again having the same degree like we had in adjective. If you remember, we studied about 3 degrees in adjective: positive, comparative, superlative. Positive degree is when you are simply stating about a quality. I'm talking of adjective right now. When you are simply stating a quality. A comparative degree of adjective is when you're comparing the quality of two persons, and superlative when you're talking about the highest quality, right? Now we are going to study the degree of comparison of adverbs. Again, there are the 3 degrees: positive, comparative, superlative. Now over here, since they are adverbs, now to identify adverbs, no maximum adverbs, I'm saying maximum, not all. So general maximum adverbs have ly. Okay, so Sheila drives cautiously. Cautiously is the adverb. How does Sheila drive? Cautiously. So it is the degree, it is the adverb, and it is positive degree. Now if I have to compare between Sheila and Neetu, so I am going to say Neetu drives more carefully than Sheila. So I am comparing Neetu and Sheila. So it is the comparative degree. So I am going to use more cautiously. Okay, then if I talk about third one, like Lara. Lara drives the most cautiously among the three friends. Among the three friends, Lara is the one who drives most cautiously. That means the superlative degree I am talking of, right? I am not comparing between two, but among the all. Now, how do we form these comparative degree? If the word is with one syllable, remember one syllable, we have studied about syllable, where the sound of vowel comes only once. Okay, so with that we add ER in comparative, and in superlative we add EST, right? Like for example, fast, only the sound of is coming. So faster, fastest. So this is the comparative, this is the superlative. Now hard, harder, hardest. Comparative, superlative. Okay, only one syllable is there. Now, the adverbs that end with ly, the words having ly in the end, for the comparative degree we add more, for the superlative degrees we add most. Clear? Now, if it is carefully, so in comparative it will become more carefully, superlative most carefully, swiftly, more swiftly, most swiftly. If I talk about gracefully, more gracefully, most gracefully. Okay, like intelligently, more intelligently, most intelligently. But there is an exception to this rule also, which is early. Remember we started early remains, early does not changes with adding ly. Rather it changes into earlier or earliest. Clear? Now there are certain adverbs which do not take this comparative or superlative degrees. Like for example, they do not take more or most. Rather they become far, it changes into farther or farthest. Farthest. Far, it changes into either further or furthest. Both are correct. Then well, better, best. Much, more, most. Badly changes into worse and worst. Okay. Little changes into less and least. So this table you will have to learn. Okay, it can be asked. So you have to learn that. Now let us come to the next. Now what do you mean by comparative adverb? Just now I explained when you are comparing something with somebody else, right? So it can be through better, worse, stronger, weaker. Such words are being used. Like for example, Maggie works out more seriously than Donna. So I am comparing Maggie and Donna, and who is the better one? Maggie. So I am using the word more. Seriously, more seriously, right? So if I have to go for superlative, so Maggie works most seriously in the office. Okay, among all the people, so Maggie works the most seriously. So that is where it becomes the superlative degrees. Now what is superlative degree? Highest degree. Superlative shows us how an action or state, which is best, strongest, fastest, slowest, least, how are these formed? Okay, so we add most to them, right? So she shouted the loudest, so he won. So, okay, so because since he shouted the loudest is the highest degree, and so he won. So that is the superlative degree when you talk about the highest degree. Now next topic is, which is the last topic, which is position of adverbs. Now how are adverbs positioned? Before, if we have to put before, then where to put, before the verb, after the verb, before the object, where. So we need to learn that. We need to understand that, and then we are going to use it. Okay. So now, can you see the first one? It says it is important to know where to place an adverb in a sentence. It got little mixed up. So now, first one tense is Vera walks graciously. Now if you see walks graciously, is it an transitive or an intransitive sentence? Now I give you a quick revision. What is transitive and intransitive? Transitive, where the word has, where the sentence has where the verb, when the action is being taken place, the receiver of the action, that is object, is present. Okay, and it receives the action. Whereas in intransitive, the receiver of the action is not present, though action is received by him. Like for example, Vera walks gracefully. I am not getting the object in the sentence. Vera is the subject, walks is the verb, and gracefully is the adverb. So whenever I have been given an intransitive verb, so when that means when no object is present, in that case I will use it after the verb. So adverb in that case is used after the verb. So verb plus adverb when the object is not present. Now can you see this is verb and this is the adverb. Clear? Now if the object is present, that means if the sentence is transitive, in that case we are going to put it after the object. Like for example, Mohit recited the poem confidently. What did Mohit recite? Poem. So you are getting an object, which is the poem. So when the object is present, then after the object we put the adverb. So can you see confidently I have used after the object, which is poem. So there are two rules. First rule, if the verb is intransitive, then you have to put, intransitive means no object is there, then you have to put the adverb after the verb. But if there is an object present, then in that case you will put it after the object. I hope this is clear. Now let us see the next one, which says adverb of time. Now if I talk about adverb of time, like now, then, yet, yesterday, today, they are always placed after the verb or after the object. They again same rule, after the verb and after the object. Like for example, I met Beena today. So when did I meet Beena? Today. That is the adverb. So now Beena is the object over here. Okay, so again if I have the object, I will put it after the object. If it would have been I met today, the sentence is not clear. So in that case, after the object we will put. But at a certain times, to emphasize, we put the adverb at the beginning of the sentence only to emphasize. Like today I met Beena, tomorrow is your test, so I am emphasizing on the time. Okay, then it can be used in the beginning. Now next is adverb of manner or place. If I have adverb of manner or place, if the verb is again intransitive, that means there is no object, so it will be verb plus adverb. If there is object, then it's going to be object plus adverb. Now see, the children screamed joyfully. How did the children scream? Joyfully. So joyfully is the adverb of manner. But can you scream there? See, there is no object in it. So in that case, I have put after the verb. So verb plus adverb. But see the next. Tina threw the ball forcefully. Now the ball is the object over here. The Tina action is the throwing of the ball done by Tina is received by the ball. The object is the ball. So the ball is, how is the ball thrown? Forcefully. So this is the adverb. So in this case, it is put after the object. So when there is intransitive, no object, so verb plus adverb. When it is there, in that case, object plus adverb. Same thing is followed in the adverb of place. So again, if there is a verb, I am going to put after the verb adverb. If there is no object, I am going to put after the verb. If there is an object, after the object. Like for example, the snails were everywhere. I don't have a object over here. So after verb, which is the verb, and then everywhere. Then Garima could not find her puppy. Who is the object? Her puppy. And where is the place? Anywhere. So this is placed after the object. Clear? Now, when an auxiliary verb is used with the main verb, the adverb is placed between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. You have a verb which is a helping verb, supporting verb, or the auxiliary verb, and you have a main verb. So when you are using the adverb, it is placed between. Like for example, she is the auxiliary verb. Talking, talk is the main verb. So when helping verb and when auxiliary verb or the main verb both are present, in that case it is used between. She is always talking. I am not going to say she is talking always. No, she is always talking. So between the helping verb, which is and the main verb, which is talk. Clear? Next is, when a sentence has just the main verb, the adverb is placed between the subject and the verb. Okay, when you only have the main verb, there is no helping verb in it. So in that case, it is placed between the subject and the main verb. Like for example, he never comes late to class. So there is no is, am, are, was, were, no helping verb has been used. No. So with the subject is he, and the main verb is come. So between the subject and the verb, we use the adverb, which is he never comes late in the class. Clear? So when there is an helping verb, so between helping verb and the main verb, we are going to put the adverb. If there is no helping verb, though between the subject and the main verb, we are going to put the adverb. Clear? Now let us move to the next one. Adverb is placed before the verbs have to or used to. If there are the words like have to or used to, so the adverb is placed before them. Like they often used to go to a restaurant nearby to have a dinner. Now it is correct statement because as per the situation, it was used to, right? So they often used to go to a restaurant nearby to have dinner. So when word used to is given, so we are going to use the adverb before. Like for example, we frequently have to take the school bus on rainy days. So have to is given, we are going to use before. So frequently has been used before have to or used to. Clear? Now When an adverb modifies an adjective or an adverb, it is placed before the adjective. If it is used defining an adjective or an adverb, it is going to be used before them. Like for example, the house was very spacious. Now spacious is the adjective. Okay. Quantity it is talking of. So I have used the adverb as very. The old man walked rather slowly. Slowly is already an adverb. So if I have to use another adverb, I am using rather. Okay. Next, the adverb enough. We read about the enough, which employed sufficient, right? Remember, sufficient meaning was there. So it is placed after the word it modifies. The word it is trying to modify, it is placed after that. Like for example, the sum is easy enough to solve. Easy is the main word that is modified, because yes, you can do it. So the sum is easy enough to solve. Next, when we use two or more adverbs in a sentence, we have to order them. Okay, when you are using more than two adverbs, so the order is manner, place, time. So first, you remember it like this: MPT, M, manner, P, place, T, time. So first manner, then place, then time. So it is Shreya acted brilliantly in the play yesterday. So now brilliantly is the manner. So place is not mentioned in the sentence, so we can skip this. And then comes the time, yesterday. So she acted brilliantly yesterday. If it would have been Shreya acted brilliantly on the stage in the play yesterday. So on the stage will come after brilliantly, because manner, then on the stage becomes place, and then yesterday, which is adverb of time. So remember it, MPT, manner, place, time. This is the order of adverb. Clear? I hope this is clear. Now if it is clear, there are certain small things that I would like to tell you. Adverb of place, manner, like just now we have read it. So for example, she gave immediately our reply. No, she gave our reply immediately. This is the correct one. The worker has satisfactorily done his work. The worker has done his work satisfactorily after the object. Remember, if there is enough, it is placed after the word it modifies. Generally, we read about this, like this one, easy enough. So it was foolish enough to. Okay. Next is, if there is very or too. Too indicates excess, lot of, and very indicates it should not be used in the above sense. It is better to use very. We read about that certain words we use very, like tired, then exhausted. We use very with them. So that is what it is talking of, right? So next, thank you. Now one more thing, that you are going to write the word bank in the word bank notebook. Second thing, you are going to solve the book exercise that I am going to send you, and you are going to solve the book exercise and check the previous book exercise that will be sent to you in the book. You will check it and solve it. Clear? Thank you.